What's up, YouTube? Hudson Fan 15 back with a Nationals recap. Not just another mail day. I am jet lagged and about a third brain power at the moment, but let's slog through this. Had an absolute blast. Was in town from Wednesday evening on, but only made it to the Friday night trade night by Kentucky Basketball Cards. Jim, who is a phenomenal person. If you're in the YouTube community and not real active in Instagram, he's one of the good guys, and you should definitely check him out. Met up with Scott Landers, Pine Tar, and along with Stotty Boy and Mickey the Dude, and just walked the room, introduced myself, made some friends. Also met up with, from Instagram, Santiago Sports. We did a deal for this. I'm not going to talk out of turn. I think it's in the stack here somewhere. We did a deal for one card. There it is. This Hellboy Blue Auto. That is going to wind up with Mr. Rizzo, aka Hobby Cards. And he already knows about it. Yeah, so and we'll get some more for him later. But we had a good time, and I traded that Ripken sweet spot that had a lot of condition issues to an Orioles fan for a Dustin Pedroia sticker auto, which I then handed to Joel, who runs the Loot Locker, kind of as a thank you for all the hookups and this, that, and the other thing, and just wanted to do something nice for Joel because he puts out an excellent product. He does a tremendous amount of work in doing so, and gets more flack than he deserves for the amount of what he puts into that, to give people that as an we'll call it a hobby alternative. Especially if you don't have an LCS in your area. So I was going to start off with MMA stuff. There wasn't much, and it's gone. Went and saw my boy locally here who does MMA, and he bought the contents of the Top of Class box that I ripped. It was a $30 show special, and I didn't want to spend too much on wax, but there were a bunch of guys doing the break party at the Doubletree, highlighted by Boston Broncos 21, Brett, who is a phenomenal person to hang out with. If you ever get the opportunity, if you ever know that Brett's going to be somewhere, please go try to meet him. Just throwing cards at people left and right that he knows that they PC. He did a couple boxes of 13 Spectra and was mostly shanked, and then opened an absolutely unbelievable case of 2017 Museum Baseball. It's not like that 11 laundry tag one, although we thought from the first box that it might be. But I will defer to his channel, and I believe Card Cutter 23, Garrett was taking some film of it as well. So speaking of Card Cutter 23, I brought him to a booth that I had seen a lot of TriStar authenticated locally sourced autographs. A company that has a retail store, but also a mail-order business in Texas. I believe it was Crystal Lake, Texas. And I saw, because I know he does a lot of the PSA-certed autographs, and he got two tremendous cards from that booth. And while I was there, I picked up a Michelle Waterson. For those of you who are not UFC fans, she is the Karate Hottie. And she was, I guess, kind enough to come in there and do a signing for them at some point. And they had some extra gloves that they brought. It was really the only UFC thing that they had, and very little UFC content. So that's an image of it. And there's the auto. The only UFC stuff I saw was this glove, the unopened wax, and even that there was not a lot. It was a lot of Knockout, because Knockout was on the list of Topps redemption packs, but at $140 a box, I was not going to give that a shot. and then a few tables had these top of the class specials, which it's 3 hits for $30, and it seemed like a good deal. But I traded. I did a deal where I sold a couple of things that I had come in specific for Pat and the entire contents of the top of the class box, and then Pat and I did a deal for the Waterson glove. I'm going to need your help, basketball guys. 1996 Bowman's Best Rookies PSA 9, Kobe Bryant. And a 1996 Finest, number 74. It says Apprentices. With coating, mint 9, but it's an OC qualifier that I traded for the Waterson glove. So let me know how I did. These are going to be up on eBay soon. So let's start going through some things. Random, I was walking from the RBI Crew 7 general area towards the back middle to look for the restaurant area, and I got kind of turned around a little bit, and I wound up in this aisle, and I'm walking, and I see something, and I don't have boxes with me. I mean, I have my bag, but I don't have boxes in front of me. I'm not looking at my phone, and just sitting in the middle of an aisle is this 27/49 Duke Johnson oversized patch. So I pick it up. I ask, is this anybody's? Wait, anybody own this? Nothing. People aren't even looking at me. So, okay, so apparently it's mine. So I have a lot of Duke Johnson stuff up on eBay, a lot of black, primarily black gold stuff, so I'm going to tag that into it as well. What are we going to do next? So the reason why I didn't break a lot on stuff that I was buying was because I had a wax budget, and then I go over and I find Tracy from Panini, and we're talking, and we pull in Mike from Football Product Development, Tom from the design team, and Keith, and we're having this big jam session about some innovations ideas that I had for some CS-related stuff, trying to find out kind of some mentalities on how they're drafting certain programs or whatnot, and then some of the stumbling blocks that they've had in previous seemingly very successful initiatives that have then fallen from the wayside. And then, of course, I always throw in something about Panini Rewards because, as you guys know and you've seen repeatedly, I participate in that actively, and I feel strongly that it could be a good program, but it just needs some help. I did talk to Joe White briefly as well from customer service, who's running around like an absolute maniac trying to deal with some degree. He wasn't really super involved with the silver packs, but mostly with the redemption replacements, and the line was so long. Every time I went by, I didn't want to go over there and make any sort of stink about it. I know I can just email Joe, but Tracy disappears for a moment, and he comes back with 2 boxes of 2017 certified, and then and Joe White pops up from the other side and hands me 2 black boxes. So I busted the 2 black boxes on camera. So there's going to be a video of just the 2 of those, and one of the 2 cards is gone already, and I'll get to that. And then the other one I have here. But then as certified, we were having lunch. I say we. I was with Alan, ADS912, Gussie, a few other guys, and so I decided to break some wax. Got this Christian McCaffrey non-numbered jersey. I have a couple of McCaffrey inserts in there because I'm going to look to see if this is worth listing as a lot. Russell Wilson jersey out of $3.99. There's just a sticker on there. Doesn't really mean anything. Chris Godwin $3.99 jersey. Mike Williams $2.99 red jersey. Something called Gerard Evans out of 99. I've never heard of him. I'm guessing by the way he's standing and the colored jersey that he's wearing, he is a quarterback. So that's going to go in my buddy's the box that he has going for his kid. And the hit of all of the 2 boxes. Oh, there's a Kareem Hunt RPA to $4.99 that I handed to J.W. Smitty. And then the big hit out of everything was this O.J. Howard Mirror Blue 48 of 50 RPI. So really happy with that, obviously with no cost. So what I did was I took my wax budget and I went over to a seller and I bought a JSA'd 8x10 auto John Elway. So yeah, we did that. And then the other card is a Jimmy Butler patch, which I dealt for a card I'm going to show later. And then I've got this guy, 2016 limited, but obviously it's a 2017 National Black Box version. 4-color patch, 1 of 1 Carson Wentz. So I tried to deal that to at least 3 different Eagles fans there, and I could not get anywhere near a deal done. So, yeah, so that's going up on eBay. Moving on, from John Saunders, we did a number of deals. The first one was I got this for Hobby Cards 7, Jeremy Hellickson, 2-color patch auto red parallel 25/25, and Rizzo got back to me last night. He does not have this, and then he's going to take a pass on this because I kind of bought it with him in mind, but immediately Mr. Fisher bike, the MFB 180, is all over it, Jason. So it's the green Momentous Material jumbo patch with MLB off hologram, autograph 1 of 1, Evan Longoria. So we agreed on a little bit of a layaway plan for this guy, and I'm going to make sure it finds the right home eventually. So on to some PC stuff. Let's start with Huddy, and let's start with Nick, Yankee Fan 95. He was set up at the show and was killing it. He was within spitting distance of the RBI Crew 7 booth, and he and Chris did well, along with their partners from Nashville that had come in. So it was a very good show for everybody concerned. And Nick started off by handing me this pack of all these Huddies, so many different sets, the hardball die cuts, Mound Marvels inserts, the little credit card Studio Stars looking deal, base and refractors and showcase, and all this excellent stuff as always. Anything Huddy he always puts aside for me. A 9 out of 250 press clippings insert, best of Fan Club 2002, number 79 out of 300. And Origins baseball jersey, not numbered, and a game-worn shoe from 2003 piece of the game, 21 of 50. So those are tremendous, and I appreciate the thought above all. And as he didn't need to do that, because I was basically there because he agreed that he and Chris were going to let me crash with them before we got our planes back to our respective locations. Nick and I were on the same flight back to Connecticut. So that would have been more than enough, and he does that. And I handed him some stuff, including from that certified box, 2-box break. The best numbered card was a 25 of 25 Deion Sanders gold team. The guy set up directly next to them had a bunch of 2015 Prism Baseball parallels up, and we dug through the box and found this tie-dye 36 of 50, which got at a more than reasonable price. And then I knew going into the show it was not going to be a show where I was going to have to dig through a lot of boxes, because I randomly hit up a guy on eBay who's listing a lot of mid-2000s baseball rare stuff. 07 UD Black, auto printing plates, stuff from 05 Absolute, a lot of that nice era from Huddy. And I sent him a message, do you have anything Huddy that you just haven't gotten around to listing yet? He's snapped a very immediate no. And 4 days later, I get this message. So I'm getting together my items for Nationals, and I ran across these 2 cards. Would you have any interest? And I said, what booth number, and I'll see you in Chicago. So my first order of business when I walked in the door was to track down Jim, and Jim was kind enough to bring these with him specifically for me, held them till Saturday till I could get there, and sold them to me for what I thought was a very reasonable price. 2006 SP Authentic by the letter manufacturer, letter patch autographs, letter N 23 of 25, and letter S 15 of 25. So that is huge. Just a few cards out of the brace of pieces, all commons. Luck and Hilton from 17 Certified, and a Brian Bennett from the Prism pack that Joel the Loot Locker threw at me. Go check out that as well. Everett, after I gave him the it was a 2015 Prism Red Cracked Ice Jacoby Brissett autograph to 75. Gave this to me, I guess, kind of in return. Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, dual jersey, 17 of 100. And then we're back to John Saunders again, and Chicago fan Jason is looking through his box and pulls these 2 cards out. And John gave me a very good price on the 2 of these. 2015 Certified Jumbo 2-color patch auto out of $7.99 Philip Dorsett, and 86 of 99 jersey Colossal on-card auto Dorsett rookie. So those are excellent. I said good deal on those. Chris, Signature for 2024, gave me this T.Y. Hilton Valiant auto. Bob came by as 16, gave me this Absolute Patches Andrew Luck 11 of 25. We are guessing that is the R from Rookie across the nameplate from the RPA shoot, even though it's the 2013 product, so not Luck's rookie year. And then, as I mentioned before, the Jimmy Butler from the other black box originally wasn't planned because they didn't have it yet. When I was talking back and forth with, I believe it's Swipa_DA_Fox, so Swipa Fox, but with underscores, about this card that he hit in a live box breaks event, and bringing it with the idea to sell. We had an approximate range. I asked him, do you trade? He said, yes, I do a lot of basketball. I pulled out the Butler, and so he gave me the Dorsett and added a little cash, and away we go. And the Dorsett is the pink breast cancer awareness swatch 1 of 1 from the 2015 Panini Black Friday program.
I think that's happened like once or twice when I've watched it.
That is a tremendous card to me, especially in person. And you see all these different Colts relics, and to have anything that's any different colors, huge. And then they were giving out Sports Collectors Digest. You have a program and an SMR, which will be some nice reading at some point with, of course, local boy Chris Bryant. There, the Bryant auto that I had left me as part of getting the Longoria, as I mentioned. Out of all these tangible things, though, and as seemingly frantic, running around the place, meeting with different, going to the different vendor tables or whatever else, my favorite part of the weekend was meeting the people that I haven't met before at this thing. And I'm going to put up an Instagram post with all the individual selfies that I took with some of these legendary guys. And I've met some of them before, most of them I hadn't. And then I was part of this at the end of the night, and I asked Michael to send it to me so I could show it in this video. This group shot in the lobby of the DoubleTree at the end of the night with me in the back there. And just going through this, Tammy Husband, K Midas, Card Cutter, Smitty, Drunk Trojan, my goofy looking ass, Manny All-Star Jersey Shop, Chicago Fan Jason, Boston Broncos 21, Mr. Fisher Bike, Joe Burtcat 8, This Film Is Not Yet Rated Michael, Nick, Yankee Fan 95, Motown Sweep at 21, Alec F5 Tornado Man F4, Everett Wenzel, Sevens, Michael obviously, Will and D-Rob, and you see some of the guys got there late. Griffey Order 24, and then off in the corner there's 60 for 2024. We just missed getting in this picture as well. Michael Fabian, Eastern CT Sports Cards, who was there and was being an absolute trooper, by the way, because he was in a lot of pain and dealing with a sciatica situation. And I hope, Michael, if you watch this video, you are better, getting better, and I hope next time I see you, you're in a lot less pain. And Jay Spartan 98 was helping him around a little bit as well. That at the end of the night, I had a couple of times where I just leaned back in the sofa in the DoubleTree lobby, and just the camaraderie, the guys just carrying on. I mean, cards being passed back and forth, drinks being bought for people, just random people stopping to see, like, what's going on, and it seems like such a good time. I mean, so Brett's in the middle of doing his museum baseball case, and he gets a paper cut. And it was something that we had joked about beforehand, but his fingers literally like dripping blood. So Manny, I jumped up, but I would have had to leapfrog over a lot of people. And I said, Manny, why don't you go ask at the desk if they have a Band-Aid for Brett? And so Manny comes back, and he's dying laughing, and I guess because the concierge says, you guys sound like you're having such a great time, I want to come over there and join you. And, I mean, it's an offhand comment, but it hit me, like, when it comes to the hobby, it doesn't get better than that. Just creating an environment that other people feel welcome and want to participate in was phenomenal. And did I miss PDAS? I may have missed PDAS somewhere in here, or maybe he's. I don't think he's skedaddled out of there early. Paulie is kind of short, so he may have missed. He may have been standing at an angle when this was taken that he wasn't in, and I may or may not have started with Tammy Husband, but Jesse was there, and Tammy was as well, and the two of them were a lot of fun to talk to. I don't know where Paul is in this picture, but P-Daz was there. And then during the show, obviously the center focus was like the RBI Crew 7 table. That's where everybody was kind of meeting up and converging all on one another. Tyson NZ, good to see Ben again. With Elon in tow. I missed Elon last year completely. Alan ADS 912 was roaming around, and it's just like every corner you turn, there was somebody there. It was a new face. It was, but it's not a new face. It's old faces, but it's a new face to have in front of you. And if you haven't gone to a national, you should. I think Cleveland is going to be a nice happy middle between the people that's too far for Chicago one way and the people that's too far for Atlantic City the other way. I don't know that I'm going to get there. It's probably not going to happen based on my scheduling and all, but I'd love to work something out where it could, because it was just such a blast. And I'm probably not going to do another one. If I do another one, I'm really going to commit hard to it. But it reinvigorated me. Like I may have even said this again last year. Like, I hit these weird, like, depressing lulls sometimes, and a lot of it comes around when there's negativity in the community, when there's negativity in the hobby about things, where it just seems like everybody's miserable all the time, and then something like this comes up, and it's just, I'm completely back in, 100% back in, ready to go, can't wait, let's do it.
He's in her purse.
So thank you to everyone that I mentioned. Thank you to everyone that I didn't mention. Just seeing like BB Express 2 in passing was another one. Where we didn't really like sit down and talk for any length of time. Oh my God, King of Steak finally met Gary after all these years, and it was just such a great time. Such a great time, and I really hope, as I said, that y'all can get there and can participate and get the same enjoyment out of the experience that so many other collectors do, and especially if you hit one of those points where you're feeling down, just remember this little spiel and just start making plans. Instead of that, oh, I just missed a PC card. Take the money that you have spent on that, put it off to the side, store it away, don't use it for anything other than booking your trip to a national. And just remember, unless you're going to be there for several days, you're not going to see everything. But don't get fixated on, I have to see everything, I have to do everything. Just be there for the people. I'm telling you, it'll be worth it just for that.
Yeah, it only works like one way.
All right, YouTube. Peace.